Hello and welcome to our webinar on getting an inside look at pharmaceutical companies. At times they can seem like giant bureaucracies that are set apart from your research site. However, this is not the case. Sponsors are fully aware of the importance of research sites. All it takes is a little bit of insight on how these companies are organized and you'll be able to effectively communicate with any sponsor. We've talked to many members of the Trial Join team that were once employees at pharmaceutical companies. They've helped to shed some light on what goes into starting up a clinical trial. With this insight, you should have a better understanding of how pharmaceutical companies are structured. We also hope that you'll be better equipped to understand who to reach out to when you have questions concerning a trial, and also get some clarity on interacting with sponsors, as well as getting information on why these trials are important and all the effort that goes into designing one. Pharmaceutical companies have plenty of work to do, and they have plenty of manpower to accomplish these tasks. Tasks such as writing the protocol are delegated to an entire team, who are then worked on by external consultants to ensure that there won't be any issues during the trial. On top of that whole army, there are other teams that overlook the development of the trial to ensure that the clinical trial is running smoothly. As I'm sure you know, these teams are composed of clinical research associates, or monitors. One of the most critical points in acquiring a clinical trial is the feasibility site visit. During this site visit, you're going to want to be ready to show reasons why your site is special. You're going to want to have the PI engaged in a conversation about the trial, including why they're passionate, potential benefits and pitfalls, and really have them have an understanding of the entire clinical trial process. Oftentimes it can be easy to be overexcited and forget a topic. So keeping these key points in mind, I always find it easy to write a small list and keep it in hand to keep your thoughts in order. Now you're going to want to make sure your site is ready to show off. Make sure that everything is clean and organized. And you're going to want to make sure that all your coordinators are working. You're going to want to spread the field a little bit. Make sure to test your equipment beforehand and make sure it's ready to use. And always remember not to introduce these individuals to patients. Now that you've locked down a study, the investigator meeting is a great place to network. This is a great place to meet different research sites from all over the nation and see how they handle some of the problems that you may be encountering. Research sites that are directly near you won't want to share insider secrets for fear of seeing you as a competitor in terms of recruiting patients or locking down clinical trials. The investigator meeting is a great way to network with research sites and find strategies for recruiting patients and retaining them. This is also a great place to brag about your research site. I find it easy to brag about myself. Have I mentioned how I made this wonderful presentation all by myself? This is a great place to meet different people and really network, so don't overlook this opportunity and take advantage. I want to jump into field personnel that you can network with for more studies. These field personnel are individuals that work with customers, them being you, and they are an invaluable resource for plenty of information and ways to lock down future research studies. These field personnel include sales reps, CRAs or monitors, as well as medical science liaisons. Each different role provides a unique opportunity for you. This could be an incredible chance to have some open dialogue with sponsors, so take advantage by having questions ready for them and really making them feel comfortable. Pharmaceutical and medical sales reps are something I'm sure we're all familiar with. After pharmaceutical companies spend millions of dollars getting a drug to market, they're going to want to show it off a little bit. They're going to want to introduce you to it and get you using their product. Pharmaceutical reps are a great point of contact for a pharmaceutical company. They can serve as an introduction to the sponsor and connect you with other members of the company that can help you become more visible to the sponsor and receive more opportunities for future trials. They're a great gateway to the company and other members in the company. They can also get your information to the correct people. One of the people that the pharmaceutical reps can get you in contact with are medical science liaisons. And these are members of the medical affairs team that work internally and externally to make sure that the drug that is coming to market has no problem transitioning from the clinical trial phase to the marketing phase. These medical science liaisons have a real technical knowledge of drug development and are fully aware of the pipeline. They're also aware of many clinical trials that are going on by the sponsor and are a valuable source of information. Be sure to get to know them, introduce yourself, and they're a great point of contact for you. Developing a relationship with these medical science liaisons can help you ensure that you can keep a line of communication open with the sponsor. They love to hear when a site is passionate about a certain indication, and they can help you lock down future studies. Take the opportunity to take them out to dinner with your PI and really engage them and form a long-lasting relationship. CRAs and monitors are people I'm sure you're very familiar with. Oftentimes they can be seen as a burden, but they are an invaluable source of information. For example, they have extensively studied the protocol and they know it forwards and backwards. Opening a dialogue with them will ensure that you're on track with the protocol and make sure that your study is on time and make sure that your study is in the developmental stage that it needs to be. There are a lot of things that you may not know about CRAs or monitors. For example, as part of their job, 50 to 70% of their time is dedicated to travel. They're constantly going from research site to research site, ensuring all the data is good, ensuring everyone's following the protocol. At the end of the day, they are just doing their job. Sponsors put a tremendous amount of pressure on them to make sure that the protocol is being enforced and all the data is perfect. Do not see them as a burden. See them as a way for you to better your research site and really have a great standing with the sponsor. I encourage you to have dinner with invite all three of these points of contact to dinner with your PI. They can talk more freely at PI, they can let their guard down, and personally, I'm always a little more friendly after a burger and some fries. Having a dinner with these representatives can help you welcome them and serve as a way to open the door for opportunities for your PI. For example, they can be offered a consulting position to the operations, medical, or marketing teams of the sponsor. And once again, this works on how you develop your relationship with these representatives. I wanted to talk about the pipeline because you should always be looking ahead. The pipeline is the lifeblood of the company, and each company has a pipeline that's rich with drug agents that are nearing their maturation phase. Being aware of the pipeline is a way for you to ensure that you're part of the clinical trials that the sponsor is running. You always want to look ahead. And the easiest way to do this, the easiest way to be aware of the pipeline, is to ask the right questions to the right people. We wanted to touch on the issue of getting your questions answered when you can't reach a monitor. When you can't reach members of the clinical team, you can always call the company directly online. You can ask questions and oftentimes you'll receive a standard letter of response which you'll get within 24 to 48 hours. And this is a quick way for you to get urgent answers questioned that you need immediately. As a rule of thumb, I always say that make sure you get the best contact information from each individual field personnel before you ever need them. I hope after this presentation you'll be able to better interact with sponsors and you'll have a better idea of the different roles that these representatives play. It's a great way, the This is a great opportunity for you to network with them and really open some dialogue with pharmaceutical companies. I hope we all learned something. I hope you enjoyed this presentation from TrialJoin. Please contact me with any questions that you may have. Thank you.